This is the EBycco 5000W Dual Motor Ebike. It looks like a purpose-built off-road rig with a chunky aluminum frame, 24-inch fat tires that are 4 inches wide, and a full suspension setup that gives it a muscular, ready-to-ride stance. The black and blue color scheme is straightforward and a little stealthy. The battery sits cleanly in the down tube. There's a rear rack and full fenders, and the hydraulic brakes and big forks say it's made for serious riding more than shell. I'd call the styling functional and tough rather than flashy, and that's exactly how it rides. From my experience, the headline is the dual motor power. EBycco advertises 5,000 watt peak from 2 motors, and while I'm skeptical of that exact number, the acceleration is absolutely wild for an e-bike. I've hit an indicated 40 to 45 miles per hour on flat pavement with pedal assist cranked up, and I don't need to pedal on short bursts to get close. There's a small intentional delay from a dead stop when I hit the throttle, and I appreciate it because it prevents the bike from lurching forward with all that torque at once. Once it rolls, it pulls like a small scooter. Hills that usually slow me down feel like gentle ramps. I've climbed grades that would have me standing on the pedals on a normal bike, and here I can stay seated and just manage the throttle. The fat tires and suspension are key features that make this much more than a straight-line rocket. Those 24-inch wheels and 4-inch tires bite into dirt, gravel, and sand better than I expected, and the combination of a lockable, adjustable front fork and a rear shock keeps the bike composed when the terrain gets rough. It's not a cushy cruiser feel, it's more of a controlled, planted ride that lets me pick lines and stay confident when the ground changes. On pavement, the wide contact patch and weight help stability at speed. I feel the heft in slow turns and when stopping, but once I'm rolling, it's surprisingly nimble for its size. Braking is strong and consistent. The hydraulic discs have the kind of modulation and bite I want on a bike that can run this fast. In traffic and on descents, I trust the levers to scrub speed quickly without drama. That said, I wish eBycco had included turn signals from the factory. The headlight is bright and the brake light works as it should, but for a bike that can mix with car traffic at 35 to 40 MPH, integrated turn signals would make a meaningful safety difference. Let's talk battery and range, because this is where marketing numbers and real life meet. The bike is advertised with a 52-volt, 32-amp-hour pack, and key features include a removable, lockable design with BMS protection. Charging from low to full takes me about 8 to 9 hours with the stock charger. In my opinion, the real-world capacity feels lower than the spec on paper. When I ride hard using both motors and mostly throttle, I see about 30 to 33 miles per charge. If I switch to single motor mode and keep pedal assist in the middle levels on mixed terrain, I can stretch that to the 50s and sometimes more. For me, that's plenty for a daily commute and a long weekend ride, but it's important to set expectations. Raw power eats watts. The removable battery is a win for apartment charging and security, and weather has not been an issue for me. I've ridden in light rain and through puddles without trouble. Assembly was simple. It arrived mostly put together. I installed the front wheel, pedals, lights, and did a quick brake check and derailleur tune. If you're comfortable with basic bike tools, it's straightforward. If not, I'd set aside some unhurried time or get a shop to give it a once-over. Build quality is solid where it matters. The frame is stout and true. I did notice minor cosmetic imperfections, like a slightly off-kilter rack weld and a small paint scuff out of the box. Nothing structural, nothing that affects riding, but it reinforces the idea that this is a value-first powerhouse, not a boutique showpiece. Ergonomics took some tweaking for me. I'm tall, so I added a longer seat post and a small handlebar riser to get proper leg extension and a more upright reach. The stock saddle is fine for short blasts, but on long rides, it gets uncomfortable, so I swapped it for a wider, more supportive seat. The thumb throttle works, though I personally prefer a twist throttle for fine control at speed. The LCD display is clear indoors and in shade, but it can be hard to read under harsh sunlight. Polarized glasses make the glare worse. I like that the settings let me switch riding modes easily. There's dual motor electric, single motor electric, pedal assist with 5 levels, cruise control, a walk mode for pushing the bike, and I can also set it to Class 1, Class 2, or Class 3 behavior. That's helpful if I'm riding somewhere with specific limits. Weight is the trade-off that never goes away. This bike is heavy, over 80 pounds, and I feel that every time I have to lift it or maneuver it upstairs. On the road, the weight adds stability, but it also means more attention to braking distance and cornering speeds. It's not a bike I toss into the back of a car often. It's more like a compact e-moped in terms of heft, even though it still pedals like a bicycle with a 7-speed drivetrain when I want to ride unassisted. Heat management is something I bumped into on steep, sustained climbs in warm weather. Pushing both motors at high output for long stretches can warm the controller enough to trigger temporary power reduction. It's not frequent, but it happens if I'm hammering up long hills on a hot day. Easing off the throttle or switching to single motor mode for a bit clears it. It's a reminder that power electronics have limits and that smart pacing helps. From my experience, the real strengths are power, traction, and versatility. I use this bike to commute across town, tackle trail connectors and rough paths, and cruise down to the beach where it floats over soft sand better than thinner tire e-bikes I've ridden. The 330-pound max load and the included rear rack make it a hauler for groceries or a work bag. The full fenders cut down on spray, and the IP rating has matched my rainy day rides. The drivetrain shifts cleanly, and I haven't had chain drops or gross shifts. Maintenance has been basic. Keep the chain clean, check brake pads, and keep the tires at a pressure that balances comfort and rolling resistance. Lower pressure grips better on dirt and sand. Higher pressure helps range on pavement.
In my opinion, there's some spec sheet optimism, especially around the peak wattage and usable battery capacity. But when I stop obsessing over numbers and focus on how it rides, it delivers. It's thrilling, it's capable on a huge range of surfaces, and it's built to take knocks. It's perfect for experienced riders who want a high-speed, all-terrain tool that can replace a short car trip, climb any hill in the neighborhood, and still be fun on a Sunday trail ride. I'd recommend this for commuters with mixed routes, riders who enjoy throttle-heavy blasts, tall riders who appreciate a large frame, and anyone who values traction and stability over featherweight portability.
I wouldn't suggest this as a first e-bike. The acceleration can surprise people, and the mass demands respect. If you need to carry a bike upstairs or load it into a compact trunk often, this isn't the right match. If your priority is a soft, armchair-like ride, plan on a saddle upgrade and maybe a suspension seat post. And if you regularly ride at night and traffic, consider adding aftermarket turn signals to round out the lighting package. Key features that stand out to me are the dual motor drive with selectable modes, the 52V removable battery, full hydraulic brakes, full suspension with a lockable fork, 24-inch fat tires that behave well on diverse terrain, and a settings menu that lets me conform to local Class 1, 2, or 3 limits when needed. The warranty on core parts for a year adds a bit of peace of mind. The included toolkit and the near-complete assembly help get rolling quickly. From my experience, living with this bike day to day has been straightforward. I charge the battery off the frame in the evening, I do a quick pre-ride check in the morning, and I pick my mode based on where I'm headed. Dual motor mode for fun and hills, single motor for range, mid-level pedal assist for a good balance when I want exercise. It's become my go-to for errands and quick trips where parking would be a hassle. It's also the thing I reach for when I want that grin-inducing rush that only strong electric torque can. In conclusion, the EBycco 5000W dual motor e-bike for adults electric bike 52-volt 32Ah is a high-power, fat-tire, full suspension machine that favors real-world performance over polished cosmetics. It's a blast, it's reliable under rough use, and it demands respect. If you're comfortable with a fast, heavy e-bike and you want a do-it-all ride that handles city commutes, dirt shortcuts, and beach sand, this is a compelling choice. If you're new to e-bikes or need something light and easy to lift, there are better fits. For me, the trade-offs are worth it. I'll leave the details about the EBycco 5000W dual motor e-bike in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.